Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's me to go first. This is quite a good rack. No duplicates and balance between vowels and consonants. I cannot see a bingo. So, what to do? I prefer short moves. But gain isn't a fabulous rackly, so I'm thinking about playing moping. Actually, there's probably not much between them. I'm going to go with the shorter word. Not great. I draw 3 vowels. And no scoring tiles. But my O's can go above and below the M and the P. So I should be able to play my way through this. Ivy takes a T in front. Now, my opponent has opened up the opportunity for a 5-letter play beginning at H1. And almost any 5-letter play would sort my rack out. So I can play Ngao, keeping the E and one of the O's, probably the best I could hope to achieve. 23 points. That looks a little better. I have Hoarder, which plays in row G above Mop. Do I have anything through the floaters in Ngao? Hoarder also plays in column 10, making Mope. If I play in row G above Mop, then I'm stopping 1 square short of column 15. And I think that's enough to persuade me to play in column 10. Now, is there an alternative bingo? I'm looking in column 3 through the A of Ngao. Can't see anything there. Can't see anything beginning with the G of Ngao. Or any of the floaters in Queen. Now, do I have a choice of where to play? I don't think so. Mop only takes an E on my rack. Hoarder 71. That's pretty grim. Not many words can be made with these 7 tiles, but one springs to mind. I can play Churn in row C, but that's keeping all 3 T's, and that surely can't be the best I can do. I think Uncart is good. That plays in row E through the A of Hoarder and also in column 3. I'm close to Taciturn, but not quite close enough. It would be good to play off 2 of the 3 T's. Maybe there is a way of doing that. Well, I could play Tract in row E. Well, maybe that is worth doing, although I usually like to get rid of the U. It is my only vowel. And if I play Tract, the U has some synergy with the N, and it's a good vowel-consonant balance. Only 14 points. What if I did make a CH play in row C? So Churn, 26 points, but keeping 3 T's. I think this is preferable. Am I missing something better? Column 5 is a double lane through the OI. I don't think I can use that this go. Now, do I have a play through the O of Hoarder? Let me just put this back. I don't think that 14 points is the best I can do. So I'm wondering if I can play through this O. Well, I can't see a play with a decent rack leave, so I'm going to go with this trapped for 14. Well, pretty balanced, but the U and the F are non-bingo-y, but I can resolve that. I can play UFO or FOU, which will then leave nest as the rack leave, which is pretty good. Nice bingo by my opponent. He now has a 20-point lead. I can play Fount in column 13, making F and so. Through an R, I would have Fortunes. Not too many floaters to consider on this board. There is the P of Mope and the G of Ngaio. Now, is there anywhere better for my F than playing Fount? I don't think so. And this is opening up at least 2 bingo lanes, which is good because I'm slightly behind. Fount 35. Not great, but I do have a scoring tile in the X. And Kex is good. My X can go next to the E of Queen, which is a triple letter square, but I can't get that to play both ways. And the same applies in column 14 next to so. I could play Kex at A13 down, making Ox. Let me see what this scores. 44 points, that's good. Now, what about playing sax and choirs? 41 points. Is Keds a better rack lead than Seds? Well, there probably isn't very much in it. Well, I think I can do a better play with D-sax. 48 points. Am I wrecking the rack lead needlessly? $48 points for D-sax. So, would keeping D and E on my rack? Yeah, I think it's better to keep the D and the E. The E is worth about 4 points, and I'm only gaining 7 by playing the D and the E, so I think this is a better set to keep. I've now got a 27-point lead. Another balanced but non-bingo-y rack. I've got the G and the I, which goes with the N of Fount to make ING, but I don't have a bingo. I've got scoring tiles in the K and the P. And it would be nice to split up the D and the G because they lack synergy. So where can I play my K? Well, goes above the Eye of Choirs. But, so I could play Ked, and this has some merit because it's splitting up the D and the G. It plays off the K, it scores well. The rack leave is not terrific. I am keeping the I and the G, though, for an ing ending in row L. And this is quite a good score, and I've not seen anything else. Well, another nearly rack. Hampered by the lack of an E, and again I've got the DG combination. Through an H I would have digraphs. Disparage through a couple of floaters. An A and an E. Now what about drapings? Gosh. Drapings. That would play at the moment in row L. I don't feel particularly confident about that. Certainly not confident enough to play it. Yeah, and I can't see an anagram of that, so I think I'll be looking elsewhere. Not a huge number of opportunities or scoring spots on this board. Nice play by my opponent, 39 points. The F doesn't help me. So the N of Fount is available for drapings if I was inclined to play it, but I'm not. I've got 11 minutes left. And I'm 2 points behind, so we're neck and neck. I can play Pig down here. Well, Jip's going to score a little bit more. Rack leave is okay. 18 points, not very much. So what would Grasp score in row N? 33 points, an extra 15 points. 8 of them are counted by the S. There's actually probably not much between those plays. Well, some good scoring tiles in the W and the H. Nice bingo by my opponent, 61 points. He now has a 45-point lead. Both blanks have gone. Do I have a bingo with this rack? There's the L of non-vital. Although my opponent's taken the lead, his play has opened up several bingo lanes, rows L and N and column 15. I don't think there's a play through the L. 19 tiles in the bag, so still quite a few tiles to come. So where can I play off my, well, really the tiles I picked, W, H and A. Nine minutes left. I don't want to obstruct the bingo lanes. But if I don't take one of these triple word squares, my opponent certainly will. And there are no blanks left for me to play for. I'm looking to try to get my W or my H on either of these double letter squares. Can't see a way of doing that. I could just play law. 18 points. It's not a great rack leave. Too many consonants, and look at 4 A's to come, and I'm keeping an A. But what can I do that's better than that? I could play wharf across here in row A for the same score, and not blocking any bingo lanes. That F is not particularly bingo-y as a floater. And the rack leave is good, so I think I'll go with this. I have acedias, which plays in rows L and N. Now, through the L of non-vital, I've got alkades and sidalcia, neither of which goes. Great. My play of acedias is not blocked because ons is good. Has my opponent provided an alternative spot to play it? I don't think so. This is going to draw me slightly ahead of my opponent, but he'll be on turn. So this is going to be a close end game. There'll be only 3 tiles in the bag after I've replenished my rack. Acedias 77. Great, I draw the Z. The B is the only scoring tile left. So I'm not going to be massively punished in column 15. My opponent may play Blet. That's only 27 points. What can I do with my Z? Well, ZA at 01. I've got a 30-point lead, which is more than I was expecting. Some of that's going to go. I can play Zitty in row K, making tar and in. That's 32 points. Soz is good. So I've got dits. Blocked. I did have dits, F'd and soz. Bolen. I think that's good. Gosh, is that worth challenging there? Let me look at the scores. I've got 6 minutes left. I'm 6 points ahead. So if I play Zitty in row K, $32 points, I will be 38 points ahead. I'll lose 8 on countback, so my opponent needs to score 30 with Tates. Now, Onst is good. He'll score exactly 30. Okay, so I need a better play than Zitty. And I'm wondering about Tazardi. I have a doubt in my mind about this, which is bad. I should know these short Z words. I'm just wondering if that's played with 2 Ds. That would certainly be enough. But is there a play which I'm sure of? Now, I've got a T for going after ons. So, Tazardi could play there. I have dits. Superb. This, I think, is going to be enough. 59 points. I've got 5 minutes left. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be enough. And my opponent will be going out, I think. He's got Tates in column 14 and Fs. And possibly other things. If he doesn't, I've got A, I, A, which can play in row K. I'm just looking around to see where else it can play. If there was an R available, I could make Rhea. Well, I haven't seen a second out at the moment. And I don't need to. My opponent has played Tates, passed to end the game. And the final score, 361 to my opponent, 407 to me, a winning margin of 46 points. So a very exciting game, a very close end game. Let's see what I missed. It was me to go first, and I was thinking about playing moping, and I preferred the shorter word, and I still think there's little between those plays. This is my opponent's rack. The main reason for playing short words is to reduce the number of floaters available to one's opponent, and also to restrict his access to these double word squares. So my opponent played Ivy. This was my rack. I played Ngaio. I could have played Gonya. Those are the highest scoring plays. And Genoa as well was playable, but burning the E. My opponent's rack, he played Queen, and then I had Hoarder, and that was the only bingo. My opponent's rack, he plays Jab, and this was pretty grim. I did have a slight lead at this point, but this is not promising. Churn was the play I spotted, but 3 T's is a disaster. And Tract had the good rack lead, but the dismal score. But I think Tract was better. My opponent's rack, and he did really well and sorted out Wiles, which was a great bingo. And this was my rack. I played Fount I13, yep, that's where I played it. That's fine. My opponent's rack, not great. He gets 28 for Quire though. And this was a rack I spent a while thinking about, wondering about playing D-Sex, Kex, or Sex. There's probably not a huge amount between these, but I think DEKS has some synergy and is therefore probably at least 6 points or close to 6 points better than KS. My opponent's rack, he played Emo, and then this was a tricky rack. C3 Ked. Yeah, that's my play, and looking at the alternatives, I think that looks best, taking account score and rack leave. My opponent's rack, he played Ferrety, which was a good score. Very close game, only 2 points between us at this stage. This was my rack. Was Drapings good? No, it wasn't. Fantastic. Great, well, I'm glad I didn't try that. But look at this. There was a 53-point play available. And that's coming down column 14, making Fs, Sop, and so on. Fantastic word. I don't think it takes an S. It's probably an orphan 6. But 53 points, pretty fabulous. What did I do? 18 for Jip. Yeah, nothing like as good. But anyway, I didn't know Sprayed, so I couldn't play it. This was my opponent's rack. Nice bingo by him, 61 points. And at this stage, he has got a 45-point lead. And this was a tricky rack. I played Wharf. I didn't really like it because the score was dismal, only 18 points. Now, clearly there were more points available. So A2 War. Wow, that's pretty nice, making Ached under her. I didn't consider that, but certainly that would have been better than Wharf. Yeah, I'm using exactly the same tiles, so certainly a better play, and placing the W here would probably have distracted my opponent and kept these bingo lanes elsewhere on the board available. My opponent's rack, what did he do here? Well, this is what he could have done. What he did do was play Anglo. I had Acedias. Wow, only one bingo. So glad to have spotted that. This was my opponent's rack. Ooh, I'm not seeing Bollen down this list. Well, I know it's good, though, because if any false words had been played, there would have been an alert at the beginning of this analysis, so certainly that is fine as a play. Great, I can see from here that Tazadi isn't good. I suspect then it does have 2Ds, and Dits at 06 is clearly the best play, 20 points ahead of the rest of the field, so I'm delighted to have spotted that, and to have had a T on my rack. Scrabble's a mixture of skill and luck, and you can't compartmentalise them. Every move is a combination of skill and luck. It's skill to spot the word Dits, but there's an element of luck in the fact that it can actually play on the board. But the fact that it can play on the board requires some skill in spotting that ons can take a T-hook, so it's very difficult to disentangle the contributions of skill and luck, which is, I think, part of the essence of Scrabble and its appeal. So Dits was a winning play. I wonder if I'd have made any of the other plays, whether they would have been winning. I'm not so sure. And then finally, what did my opponent have? He had a couple of outs. K1, Testy across here, and then Tates, which was his play in column 14. So that was the end of the game. My opponent took less than 6 minutes to make all his moves. You can't control how fast your opponent plays, but however fast he plays, both of you have the same amount of total time, and you can think on your opponent's time as well as your own. But the uncertainty of whether your opponent is going to play quickly or slowly means that there can be a difference of 15 minutes in the total thinking time, and that adds to the excitement of the game. Anyway, I think that was a good game. It was close to the end, and it had a close end game. So I hope you enjoyed watching that game and got something out of it. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.